shoot.
I lost my packet. Oh, Lord. It's 6:30, Kyle. Am I talking?
I think we're ready to go.
Okay. It's on YouTube, so.
All right.
Okay. Call to order the regular meeting, virtual meeting of the Rio Dell City Council. Roll call, please.
Mayor Garnes,
Here?
Mayor Pro Tem Woodall,
Here.
Councilmember Johnson,
Here.
Councilmember Strand, Councilmember Strand, Councilmember Wilson,
Here.
City Manager Knopf,
Here.
Chief of Police Connor,
Here.
Finance Director Dillingham, Community Development Director Caldwell, Water Roadway Superintendent Jensen,
Here.
Wastewater Superintendent Taylor,
Here.
and City Clerk Dunham is present. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Public presentations. This is the time for persons who wish to address the council on any matter not on this agenda and over which the council has jurisdiction. As such, a dialogue with the council or staff is not intended. Items requiring council action not listed on this agenda may be placed on the next regular agenda for consideration if the council directs, unless a finding is made by at least 2/3 of the council that the item came up after the agenda was posted and is of an urgency nature requiring immediate action. Please limit comments to a maximum of 3 minutes. Are there any hands raised or email comments have come in? Have any come in?
Currently, there are no hands raised.
Yes, I do have one public comment.
And it is not agendized?
No.
Okay, would you
And
read
I'll
it,
go ahead-
please?
I'll go ahead and read. Sure. Problem, reoccurring vandalism at Davis Street Park, tennis court, ball field area, and now illegal dumping in the parking lot. Possible solution deterrent, video camera installation. Funding, public partnership between City of Rio Dell and Rio Dell School District, Measure D. Could the two agencies responsible for this public property please work together to restore the faith of taxpayers that their tax dollar investment is being cared for? This public property has community benefit, and its reoccurring vandalism, illegal dumping is really hurting the morale of this community. Installing video cameras could deter crime and slow the deterioration of this public property. Cameras could identify those responsible so they can get the services they need. Thank you for your consideration and responsible stewardship. Signed, Renata Laughlin. And that's the only public comment received.
Thank you very much, and we're working on it. So thank you for that comment. We will now move on to the consent calendar. Is there any council member that wishes to remove an item from the consent calendar?
I'd like to remove item 4.
Okay, we'll remove item 4. Is there anyone, public comment, hand raised, email that would like to remove, or staff that would like to remove any item?
Currently, there are no hands raised.
Thank you.
No public comment.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve items 1 through 3, items 1, 2, and 3 of the consent calendar?
I so move.
Is there a second?
Second by Johnson.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Mayor Pro Tem Woodall,
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson,
Yes.
Councilmember Wilson,
Yes.
Mayor Garnes.
Yes. Motion carries 4-0. Item 4, Councilmember Wilson.
Yes, it's just a quick question on, I don't have any problem with it appears the way I understand reading it, that we're approving that tonight to go out and get get quotes or requests for proposals on those items. Is that correct, City Manager?
Correct. So we have a bit of development to do for the bids. And that's probably going to take into January, but yeah, it's basically the authorization to proceed and start to develop those and issue the bid.
So then when they come back, if they're within the budget that's listed there at 427, everything's fine to go out to bid. If say it comes back and it's 600,000 or 500,000, do we then have the council further review it?
Any project will have to be approved by the council. The budget for this year out of the general fund is only $150,000. So we will have to come back, even if the bid comes in under budget or on budget or over, we will have to come back to the council with a budget adjustment. One of the reasons we're not doing that right now is we don't have a very clear picture of the costs of the proposed projects, but also what has been occurring is that we have been budgeting for projects to get completed by the end of the fiscal year, and they typically go into July and August. So it might be something that we revisit and program into the upcoming budget.
Okay, that's what I was expecting. So that's all I have. I'm good with everything then. But I'll make a motion that we accept that if there's no other further discussion.
Thank you. Is there, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Second by Johnson.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Mayor Pro Tem Woodall,
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson,
Yes.
Councilmember Wilson,
Yes.
Mayor Garnes.
Yes. Motion carries 4-0. And this is probably not what I'm supposed to do, but it was a really good job on the hazard mitigation plan. I didn't want to pull it to say that, but it was a very good job. Thank you.
Yes, it was.
So now we will move on to staff reports and communications.
Thank you, members of the council. The staff report's at the end of your packet on page 53. It is a short meeting tonight, but we have some good news, which is that we do have a new community services officer who has been working for the past 2 weeks down at the police department. We encourage you to stop by and say hello to Jolene Matthews. So far, everything's going really well, and work is already getting accomplished. So we're very happy and proud of the hire. And just a couple quick notes of the sculpture replacement for the Ibex Ram. I haven't been down there to see if he was able to do that already or not. I know it is the holiday season and the chamber likes to place the tree at that location. And then we are continuing to work on trying to find a facilitator for an economic development workshop with the council and or a panel of experts. Right now, we're hoping to get that process started with the council in January. So that is on our radar. We are trying to figure out how to make it into a productive session where the council's advised by subject matter experts. So with that, just one other thing I wanted to bring to the attention of the council, because it is starting to make, national news, which is the resurgence of COVID-19. I'm going to see if I can pull up just the latest wastewater test. And while I do that, and if Rosa can enable me to share my screen, I'm going to see if on computer one, I'm going to try to pull up the latest COVID test just to kind of give the council a little bit of just briefing information. And it is something we probably will be agendizing for the next meeting for a more thorough conversation with the council. So 1 second.
Kyle, you should now have the permission to share.
Perfect. Okay. So hopefully that pops up on your screen. This is just the latest test done pre-Thanksgiving for COVID-19. I want to just say that the interpretation of this data needs to be left really to the county public health department, who work not just with this data that we provide them, but they work with a lot of other metrics as well, specific to Rio Dell and Humboldt County in general. But we are seeing a increase, not just in the wastewater sampling, but also in the county cases, which is represented here on the blue and black lines. We're trending very much in line with the overall county. I did want to give Derek just a quick chance to just brief the council on the sampling process and how we do that and how regularly we do that. And like I said, we'll bring this back to the council for a more in-depth conversation on the 15th when we have additional information about how things are panning out, whether there's an additional stay-at-home order or anything like that. So, Derek, are you on the line?
Yes, I am. So I just wanted to start off by saying me and Kyle had discussed the sampling frequency a little bit let's say the increase of cases a couple months ago. You guys are familiar with that. And generally what we're doing is kind of just spreading them out over every couple of weeks, kind of coordinating a little bit with mass gatherings such as Thanksgiving and Christmas. We are scheduled to test throughout December. We are actually scheduled this week, this Thursday, to be sending in another sample. We should have our results early next week. Really, the process doesn't take any additional time. It's just really, pulling off an additional sample from our already scheduled BOD TSS sampling. Like Kyle said, we're kind of leaving the interpretation up to the county health advisor and just utilizing the tools we have at our ready to kind of aid and assist with the overall big picture of what's going on. That's really all I have, in terms of testing.
All right. Thank you, Derek. And
Thank you, Derek.
For City Hall, just an advisory, we are taking some additional protective measures. We're back to limiting, one in the City Hall lobby at any given time. The staff is undergoing COVID testing right now in the police department, in the public works, and at City Hall. So we'll be evaluating that and kind of taking it day by day, and obviously following the advice of the public health officer. So that's where we're at with that. And then what I'll do is go ahead and turn it back to Mayor Garnes to see if there's any other questions for staff out of the report.
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem Woodall, do you have any questions for staff?
Yes. I was just wondering if the staff is undergoing the COVID testing, what is the turnaround for the results? Is it 24 hours or how long is the turnabout?
Right now, my understanding is it's 2 to 3 days. And I certainly haven't heard of any test results coming back earlier than 2 days. So we should have a majority of the results by the end of the week. And then we're going to be reevaluating the results mid next week, just to make sure everybody's covered, everybody has performed the test. But there have been some new guidelines put out by the CDC requiring face masks indoors. So and that would include City Hall, and then also just, and this was part of the governor's orders, but now it's part of the CDC, that face masks be worn in any kind of public environment, even outdoors when you're not able to distance by 6 feet. So, so with that, that's kind of the update.
Okay, now, so that in 2 or 3 days, it comes back. Now, in the meantime, somebody could get COVID. So are you going to schedule testing on certain periods? I mean, every 2 weeks? I mean, how does this first testing help in the future? I mean, how does it help show that they don't have it a week down the road? I mean,
yeah, I think that's a great question, and probably we will ask for the staff to perform a test in another couple weeks.
Now, are they required to take the test to keep their job?
They're required to take the test, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Johnson?
Mayor Garnes, I have a question for City Clerk Dunham or City Manager or Randy regarding the process building permit 475 Hilltop Tesla energy storing system. I believe that's a city corporation yard. What's the status of that? When's it gonna begin work, and when do we anticipate a completion?
So I apologize, Gordon. Your signal broke up. What facility at the corporation yard?
Well, we issued a building permit for a Tesla energy storage system.
Oh, yeah.
75 Hilltop. Any
Yeah.
more information?
Yeah, Derek, is there any update on that?
So, from my last correspondence with Topher, the representative from Tesla, he has submitted over the design plans or design build for us to be reviewing. So it's kind of in our court for a little bit to kind of make sure that everything is up to par or copacetic. And then we're going to be returning it to them with approval from the city side of things. So we're talking with the fire department, with community Director Caldwell, and kind of just going over anything that we might want to change on the plans. But as far as I know, once we get past this little hurdle, and I talked to him about it in quite a bunch of detail, he never really gave me a yes or no answer. He basically said that we're looking at somewhere in the second to third quarter of possibly seeing the project through fruition. So at this point, the plans are in our court. We're just going over some of the the details, and then we'll make contact with them and push the process forward.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Derek.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Is that it, Councilmember Johnson?
Yes, thank you, Mayor Garnes.
Thank you. Councilmember Wilson?
Yes, I had a question for the chief on the high-speed chase. I see that we participated in that the other day with a fellow that ran away from Eureka and got spiked down there at Stafford. Is that correct?
That is correct. Officer Mitchell initially picked up the pursuit on the first time it came southbound. The violator got off the freeway in Rio Dell and then turned around and went back northbound, and none of the pursuing officers saw him, so that there was a gap of time where he was undetected. And then he was picked up by a sheriff's deputy up by CR, again headed southbound. And so Officer Mitchell was waiting at the same place, or close to the same place. He was actually at Highway 36 on the second go around, because he kind of expected the guy who was trying to get away to head out Highway 36. But he was unfamiliar with the area and kept headed south, where he got spiked by the Highway Patrol down by Jordan Road, first exit to Pepperwood, and was taken into custody.
But we didn't have to give high-speed chase through Rio Dell, did we?
Well, he got off the freeway at the first exit, went underneath, and then got back on the freeway northbound.
Oh, he just went under the freeway and went back.
Yeah, so there wasn't, technically there was sort of a high-speed pursuit in town, but it didn't last very long, and he eluded the pursuing officers by doing that. They didn't see him get back on the freeway.
Okay, I thought he might have went down to Davis or something, but he just went under the overpass and took off south again. Or north, I mean.
Yeah.
All right, thank you for that clarification.
Sure.
Thank you. And I just have a couple, I want to thank Randy. Randy, I want to thank you for when we were doing the study session, and you made the point that if we don't do anything but wait for things to reports or whatever, then we're never going to get anywhere, that we have to at least know that the things are going to just get worse the longer we wait. So I just wanted to thank you for that, because I was thinking it, but I couldn't bring it together in a sentence apparently. So I appreciate that you did. The other thing I wanted to ask you is about the welcome sign at the north end of town. Is that going to be fixed? What's happening with it? I guess short sentence.
Yeah, Mayor and Council, this is Randy. So I've spoken with Jeff, and he is reprinting the sign itself. The letters have been gold leaf and have been finished up, and he's just waiting to get the reprint done up on the new piece of metal, and then he'll be bringing it down and attaching the new sign up. So it is getting replaced.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
And I wanted to know, Chief Connor, if maybe next meeting on the 15th, we could have a visual, a video, zoom in on with the new CSO officers, so that we wouldn't know her, that the citizens who are looking in on the meeting, zooming in on the meeting, would be able to recognize the new CSO officer. That's a doable thing. It would be appreciated.
I'll see if I can have her participate in the next meeting. She will also be attending the nuisance committee meetings on a regular basis.
Okay. Thank you very much. And I think that's all of my questions. So are there any hands raised or public comments that are out there that I need to address?
There are currently no hands raised.
I had no emails received. Thank you.
Thank you. And so now we will move on to council reports. Mayor Pro Tem Woodall.
Yeah, I just had one. I wanted to thank Nick Angeloff. They decorated the city over the weekend. They did a wonderful job. They had very little help. Mark and Jenny Gillum helped, and Jim Gleaton helped, and that was about it. And they did a pretty fantastic job for just so few people, and to get all those trees done and the city set up. I just wanted to thank them. And that's all.
Okay, and I'm going to the next person, but I really want to piggyback onto that, Julie, because he did a beautiful job. They made it look really, really nice, and they did Rio Dell proud, and I appreciate it, and I'm sure we all do. But thank you for bringing it up, and I just wanted to piggyback onto that. Thank you, Councilmember Wilson.
We had a RCEA meeting since the last council meeting. It was early because of Thanksgiving, and so we did our normal RCEA stuff, which is it's about wherever that is, 3 hours or whatever till everybody starts leaving. People leave and go pick their kids up or go to work, or different ones left. So if you have any particular questions, you can get hold of me or email me, and I'll be glad to answer those rather than bog it down with a bunch of boredom tonight.
Well, thank you. Councilmember Johnson.
Mayor Garnitz, I have a couple, three things to talk about. The first is the ad hoc committee of Mayor Pro Tem Woodall and myself that was commissioned to send a letter to the Rio Dell School Board to talk about the Davis Street Park. And that letter has been sent. They're going to have a meeting on the 10th of this month. It'll be a Zoom meeting, and I plan to attend that. So second matter is REDEC is having a meeting on the 14th. I think it's probably end of year stuff. And the last matter is kind of a biggie. Last Chance Grade stakeholders group is going to have a Zoom meeting on 17th of this month. And after we have that, I'll be reporting back the findings or observations of it. Thank you, Mayor Garnes.
Thank you. And I have been attending the leadership briefings for the League of California Cities. We had a Zoom, but it was about 2.5 hour meeting yesterday, looking at all of the new legislation the past legislation and the new legislation that are coming. We looked at the priority setting that was developed after a survey was put out to all of different, all the councils, the city staffs. They did a survey. They brought back the priorities of the league, and we talked about that. And then we'll have a finalized what those priorities for next year, 2021, will actually be. That will be finalized on December 11th. It's a Friday. It's a week from Friday. So and that's about all that I have to report. And so I think if there's nothing else, wonderful, unbelievable, short meeting, unbelievably short. But I think that's it. If there's a motion to adjourn.
So moved by Johnson.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. And so have a good evening, everyone. And talk to you. See you in a week or 2 weeks. Meeting adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.